Hi everyone, I'm Veronica Fenton, and today I wanted to show you a homemade product that you can use that can be very useful either in prepping materials for craft projects or just around the house for other uses. And what that is a homemade adhesive remover, which is what I've got in this little container here. What I like to do is use just containers that came from other things, just to recycle them into some of my projects. For instance, these little iced latte bottles are perfect for some of my button flowers, and I'll just give a shameless plug here. I do hold a class or offer a class to teach you how to make these button flowers, and I'm happy to do that. So if you're interested in that, please get in touch with me. But for today, we're going to learn how to take the adhesive off of a container. So I have another of these little bottles here that I've already gotten the paper label off, so that's the first step in it. Some containers, the labels you can scrape off, soak them in hot water, scrape the container or scrape the label off with a knife, a scrubby, and they're good to go. Some, however, have a type of glue that no matter how much scraping and scrubbing you do, the label will not come off, or the label will come off perhaps, but the adhesive will not. So this one, I just took the labels off this morning, and as you can see, I mean, it's still almost sticky enough. It is sticky enough to stick to my hand there. So we're going to take the label off of this using this homemade adhesive remover. And it contains only 2 ingredients, and you're just going to mix them up and store them in a little container and then use them whenever you need to. And the 2 ingredients are baking soda and any type of kitchen oil. So I've set the ingredients here on this little whiteboard so that you can take a screenshot of it, and then you've got it for whenever you want to be reminded how to make it. So on this board, I say that you use 2 parts of baking soda to 1 part of oil. And it's not rocket science. You can go heavier on the oil, heavier on the baking soda, make a thicker paste, a thinner paste. Now, I do say on my little sheet here, I say coconut oil, etc. I do personally prefer coconut oil. For instance, I've got a jar of it here. Just basic coconut oil. This happens to be organic. It doesn't have to be organic. Or even this one's unrefined. Doesn't matter if it's refined or unrefined. It will smell more coconutty if it's unrefined. But you use the coconut oil and the baking soda. Just mix it together in the container until it's really well mixed, and then store it and it's ready to go. As I said, I do prefer coconut oil simply because it will form a solid at 76 degrees or less. So I like that it's a solid. The baking soda stays incorporated in it. If you use a liquid oil, then it's going to sink out and you'll have to just remix it whenever you get ready to use it, but not a big deal. Okay, so we've got our bottle ready. I'm just going to take a little of this on my finger. Doesn't take a whole lot of it. I've probably used what's in this, or what I started with in here, I don't know, half a dozen times maybe. And there's enough there, and I've had it for several months, so there's enough there to last a really long time. You can make more. It's not going to go bad. I mean, oil will go rancid eventually, so you don't want to make so much that you have to throw it out before you use it up. So I think I used, well, on my sheet there I say 2 tablespoons of, a 2 to 1, 2 tablespoons to 1 tablespoon, for example. And I probably didn't use much more than that whenever I made this little container of it. You can see I'm doing this over the kitchen sink, and especially because I'm starting out with a solid, which it does kind of melt as I work with it because of the 76 degree factor, but I use it over the sink, or do it over the sink, so that anything that does fall off, even if it was the liquid, it could run off. It falls into the sink. And I just keep scrubbing it around with my finger, and I can see up close that the adhesive is kind of basically dissolving the oil, and the oil causes it to kind of dissolve, and then the baking soda acts as a what's the word? Sandpaper, pumice, Anyway, helps to scrape it loose. Let's just call it that. Kind of works like a microscopic scrubby in effect. Pulling some from around the side here that went around there. And you just keep working at it until you can see that all the adhesive has come loose. And we're getting real close here. I'm going to go ahead with my scrubby here, made by my friend Vanessa Lazarus here locally. Go ahead and scrub it a little bit just to get a little more elbow grease in here. Alright, and then once I think that I've sufficiently scrubbed it, I'm just going to put a drop of dish detergent on it. Rub that into where the adhesive was. And this is primarily to get the coconut oil, or the oil period, to get the oil off of the bottle. And we rinse that off. And then I just kind of look it over to see if there's any places where there's some that didn't come off. And if there is, I'll just grab another little bit of my goo remover and go at it again. I don't think I've ever had to do it more than a couple of times though on anything I've done, and there may be something out there that it won't work on, but I haven't run into it yet. So get that coconut oil washed off of there again. We're going to dry this off so you can see. Alright, I have not done around the upper rim of it yet, but you can see on this side is where the back side still has label on it. The other side though has come perfectly clean and shiny, and that side will be ready to use. Okay, I hope this was helpful to you and that it's something you'll be able to use in the future as well. Okay, I thought of something else I want to share with you guys just real quick, kind of related, but only barely, but it has to do with coconut oil. And as I said, at 76 degrees or less, coconut oil becomes a solid. And I discovered this one day. My coconut oil baking spray, cooking spray, when it's cooler than 76 degrees in here, it will not spray. You see what it's doing there? It's just foaming out. However, if I rinse it off with hot water, so I get that the spray nozzle and the bottle a little bit warmed up to heat up that spray nozzle in the can. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? Bonus tip. See you soon.